And hello everybody, and welcome along to the live stream. We are here to celebrate the launch of Black Skylands, and I am joined by Julia and Constantine, who I will introduce in a moment. My name is DJ. I'm one of the community managers here at Tiny Build, and we're the publishers of Black Skylands. And now I will talk to the people you actually want to hear from. So, Constantine, starting with you, please. Who are you, and what did you do on Black Skylands?
Hello everybody, my name is Konstantin. I am CEO of Hungry Couch Games, the company that developed Black Skylands. I was doing a lot of things. The main things I think is I was a lead game designer and art director. So I hope you will love the game.
Thank you very much. So, moving on to you, Julia. Who are you, and what did you do on Black Skylands, please?
Oh, hello. It's nice to be here. I'm a narrative designer in Hungry Couch. I write the story and script for the game and work closely with my colleagues. I work to guarantee that the world and characters have their own story to tell. I also write things like quests, item descriptions, instructions, in-game texts, smaller details that come together and create the narrative and ensure that the world is immersive. Also, I'm the one responsible for the long dialogues, but don't worry, they're skippable.
So it's your fault if people find the dialogue too long. It's brave to admit such a thing on the internet. Now I've got a few questions of my own, everybody, that I want to ask because I find this interesting as well. But we have gathered a lot of questions from the Discord community, and we will be asking a bunch of those questions throughout the course of the stream. So if you asked a question on the Discord, then there's a good chance we'll be asking it. So, the first thing I want to ask is that you've been in early access for quite some time now, and I'm going to direct this one at Constantine to start with. You've been in early access for quite some time, and that process has obviously led to today, the 1.0 release. Have you got any, what would you say is the thing that happened during the development process that led you to doing the narrative? What was it, during the early access process that led you to doing the narrative rework? What made you decide to rework the narrative?
It's a very good question. Because, the narrative of Black Skylands was redesigned, redone, and rebuilt several times. And this time I hope will be final because it's released. There's no more chance to rebuild it. But I think the actual version of narrative in Black Skylands is the best of all our attempts. So there was different reasons why we did this. The biggest reasons and the most important ones are that players wasn't so delighted about our previous versions. There was a lot of strange things, and sometimes it was odd or something.
Yeah,
maybe. Sorry, I wanted to. Yulia maybe talk about this a little because she is the main narrative designer now, and the actual story is her job actually, and
So Julia, this is the perfect transition, and thank you, Constantine, doing my job for me there. No, genuinely, Julia, this is a perfect transition to talking to you, because obviously you are the narrative designer. You're the one that's largely been behind this rework, right? So, first things first, how big a challenge was it reworking an entire game's narrative?
Uh, I thought about writing the article about exactly about reworking the whole story for an actual game, and the first thing that came into my mind was, "Don't do it. Run, fools." It's hard, it's challenging, but it is very interesting task, and I'm glad that I participated in it and that I took part in it. The story that I saw was actually good, but it had to be edited.
Edited, yeah.
Yes, edited. And it had to be finished. And we didn't have finishing point at that moment. And there were a lot of crises and problems and conflicts, so we had to redone it. So yeah, it didn't fit in our vision of the end of the game, and the players were asking good questions, and they advised us to change it a bit, so we changed it.
Yeah. And so how long ago were you brought into the process, Julia? How long have you had to work on this?
A year and a half.
So it's not been a short process then, by any stretch of the imagination.
Of course not. It takes a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and it's a teamwork. It's not only me that worked on the script. It's Konstantin too, and we have a brilliant level designer, Sergey. He always has so genuine ideas. When I listen to him, I always want to include something in the game. So it's a teamwork, always.
So, at this point, I'm going to jump over to the questions that we have from our Discord community, because as I said, we've got quite a few through, and I want to try and make sure we get through them all, to be perfectly honest with you. So the first one that we have, and I find this a fascinating question. We'll go to Konstantin, and then I'd like to hear the same answer from Julia to see if you both answer the same to this. How long do you think it takes to complete Black Skylands? So first of all, Konstantin.
It depends, because it's open world game. So if you do only the main quest, I think it will take like about 10 plus hours on the main quest. But
yeah,
there are a lot of different activities besides the main quest, the side quests at least. So I think average will be like 15 to 25 hours total.
Okay, and what about you, Julia? What do you think?
I think it'll take from 11 to 20 hours, and it will depend on whether you want to find the ice kraken and kill him, because he's an elusive bastard.
So there you go. There's some answers on that one. Obviously, as Konstantin stated, this is a game that is very much a sandbox game. Your length of play is going to vary dependent on how many side quests you do, how deeply you look into the world, how much you explore, all of that sort of thing. So next question we have And I think this one is probably better suited to you, Konstantin. Should people be expecting performance increases with the new version? That's a question that has been asked.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Because before the release, we did a lot of optimizations. So we improved performance like never before. Because there was time when we need to port our game to consoles like Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and it's not an easy task to port a game on the Switch. So yeah, there was a lot of performance improvements in the game. So now it definitely runs faster, runs better.
So there you go. There's your answer to that one, everybody. Now, this next question is one that is a bit more simple to answer. Are there patch notes going to be made available for people? And I believe the answer is yes, patch notes will be made available. Keep your eye on Steam. So I can answer that one for you as the community manager. I get to answer a question. Konstantin did my job earlier and now I'm doing his. So,
Thanks, Graham.
Oh, you're more than welcome. So another question that we've had is, will there be more achievements added to the game now that it's come out of early access?
There will be achievements because there was no achievements before. On early access, yeah, there were no achievements. So now there are a lot of achievements, and our artists draw like a lot of different badges and cards. So yeah, it's time to play Black Skylands and get all achievements.
There you go, there's a challenge for you. Getting all the achievements in a game is always difficult. I'll be interested to see who manages it first. So the next question that we have, I think this is a good one to ask to you, Julia, is, has the story been completely rewritten? Like, is this an entirely new story, or does it continue the old narrative, or is it merged with the old narrative? How does that work?
No, we've rewritten it completely. Add new characters and finish the story.
So there you go. It is a complete rewrite from the ground up. And so this one, I'm going to aim at both of you as a question, because I will be honest with you, I'm not certain which one of you will have the answer to this. And so the question has been asked, farming has obviously been removed as a thing for the time being. Why was that done? Was that narrative or mechanic choice, or both?
I could say it was fully gameplay decision.
Yeah.
Game design decision, because yeah, it's complicated. So it was one of very how to say it, out of place mechanic in our game, because yeah, I just said one time, and like, I think that Black Skylands is not about farming. It's about action adventure game, and farming is not really suits the gameplay. So one day we cancel the farming. Sorry guys who loved it. But we did much more accent on adventure, on exploring the islands, on improving yourself, improving your guns, ship, and etc. So I think it was a good idea to cancel the farming and to make other mechanics deeper. So yeah, I think it was a good decision. I hope you think
And I want to add that we still need to rebuild and upgrade other buildings.
Yeah,
Yeah, quite.
it's not completely cancelled. You need to like rebuild, and improve your buildings, but not so much about farming now.
So,
And I have jokes about it.
so there you go. If you didn't play the early access and you see jokes about farming, now you know why. So another question we've had, and this actually segues really nicely into what you were saying, Konstantin. How diverse is the weapon selection in the game now? And how much can you upgrade those weapons?
So there are a lot of weapons. There are weapons for Eva, there are weapons for sheep, and there are a lot of interesting weapons. I would say weapons that you wouldn't see in another game, because there are rocket launcher. Okay, there is one person in the game who is an engineer, but he's blind. So imagine what guns can do that person. Spoiler, only one spoiler. There are two guns. One of them is a rocket launcher that shoots rockets in another direction. So you're pointing it forward, but it's shoot backwards. It's more like a joke, but it's a really good weapon.
If you can nail how to use it.
Yeah.
And what were you going to say? Sorry, Julia.
Don't be. I love the weapons that you can get from Ron. Because with them you can completely change the battlefield and your gameplay. They are so cool and powerful.
So there you go. There is there is the answer to that one. And this one's definitely for you, Julia. And you've sort of answered this already, so I'm going to tack my own bit onto the end of it. Which is, the question that was asked was, are there new characters in the new version? And as you've stated, yes, there are. So, without spoiling too much, what I'd like to know from you is, who is your favourite character that's been newly added to the game?
Newly added to the game? Well, I like Eater. He's a nice guy. Well, not from the start, obviously. He's some kind of asshole from the start, but you kind of see good part of him at the end of the game.
There you go. So, people should be looking forward to meeting Peter by the sounds of things. And so, the final question in this section of questions, because we've got a few different types of questions we've gathered together, and so the final one here is, has more music been added to the game? And I have to say, the music in this game is wonderful.
We completely reworked all the music. But not in the last update. So there are a lot of music, a lot of new music, and it's hard to say. To be honest, don't remember if we added recently something new. Maybe. Let's say yes. There are a little bit of new music.
At the end of the game.
Oh yeah, right. At the end of the game, there is a new.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think it is.
There you go. So there's some new music right at the end for you to really sink your teeth into. And quite often, music at the end of a game is the music you remember the most, right? Because it quite often, particularly when the ending of a game is good, the music adds to that feeling, and it often stays with you. Our messenger moth has arrived. Officer Mills, we would like to remind you that your primary task is the investigation of the lack of dispatches from Marshal Eldon. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, because he's appeared on the stream at the moment, is keep an eye out for Messenger Moth in the stream. He might have something to say later. So we're now going to move on to questions more focused on the release and future of the game and that sort of thing. So the first question, and we'll start with Julia and then we'll ask Constantine the same question. How do you feel now that the game has reached full release? How does it feel today, knowing that this is it, it's finally going out?
Oh, it's awesome! It's totally awesome, and of course a little bit nervous, and I'm looking forward to feedback and a little bit scary of it, but it's cool. It's very cool.
It must be terrifying, all this work that you put into the game and all of the months of effort and everything like that, and now you release your baby to the world, right? And yeah, you now see how people react to it. So yes, I can understand that entirely. Constantine, how about you? How do you feel today?
Yeah, I thought about it this morning, and I would say I feel like it's my birthday. It's a similar feeling. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it's like not so much excited, but I feel like it's something special. This day will be special for me. Anyway, if will be good or bad release, so yeah, I just feel like it's a special day and I love it. So yeah, of course it's nervous, of course it's a hard day because a lot of things going wrong.
Always.
Yeah.
There's always last second dramas in a game release, isn't there?
But I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and I have to admit.
Sorry.
Go, no, please, go.
There's one thing. I want to do a tattoo with something on the Skylands theme. So I texted the tattoo master in my city. So he's now thinking and sketching what we can do. So yeah, that would be like the memorial on my body to last month.
To all this work, right? It's the years of work, the years of effort, the years of blood, sweat, and tears that go into creating a piece of art like this. Yeah, it's a massive endeavor. So yes, I can understand that, and I must insist, if you do that, we need photos. Once it's healed up, we need photos. Yep.
No problem. Not now.
No. But I think I speak on behalf of the audience there. We require photos once it's healed up. So, the following question, and this one's a bit more of a sort of direct question on something specific. Are there plans to release more languages, support more languages after release?
Tough question, because we didn't plan that, but if there will be like a lot of people who wants some language to be added, translated, so we just need to do that. But it's now hard to say which language we need to translate it, because there are a lot of languages and we want to translate it to every language, but you know,
limited money, limited time.
Yeah.
Yep. So to sort of put that into what the audience needs to hear here. If your language isn't supported and you really want to get it supported, get other people talking about it. If we get enough messages going, support it in this language, it's more likely it happens. Nothing is guaranteed, of course, but that sort of thing helps. So do think about that. On a similar note, this is again a very specific question. Are there plans to release any kind of mod support in the future?
It's a complicated question too. Two things that I really, really want to do in Black Skylands is first one is multiplayer, and second one is mod support. But it's two things that are really hard to do, especially on the project that on this state it has been released. So, I think that if Black Skylands will be, I don't know, very popular, so maybe then we can think about it, because those two things are very expensive. It's hard to do. It will take a lot of time. So yeah, it depends on how things will go with
the release. Yeah. And yeah, that's something to definitely keep in mind, everyone. These sort of features like that, they're really, really not cheap. And they will take a lot of time and a lot of effort. So it's not likely that you see things like that. But as Konstantin just said, that doesn't mean it's impossible. And the more that you tell people about the game, and the more that you talk to people about the game, the more likely it is that it'll happen.
Right.
There you go. I did my marketing bit. It's fine. My bosses will be happy with me now. So, a couple of questions aimed at you now, Julia. So, we spoke about this briefly in the build-up to this call and the other day when we were chatting about this. Obviously, Eva is a character that is fairly complex. She's not a simple character, right?
Yeah.
And you had, again, where you've come in and redone stuff, you've sort of had to take her character and then mould her again, I guess, is the right term.
Yeah.
So, how big a challenge was that, and how much did you enjoy writing for Eva?
Oh, great question. I love her. So yeah, for me, she's a special one. Eva is a girl who grew up without a mother, and also she had a father who was always busy with his researches, and he wasn't there for her. She learned to be independent at a young age, and with all her useful exuberance, does not tolerate being told what to do. And Eva wants to prove herself to her father, who neglected her, and prove herself to other people, because part of them thinks of her as a daughter of an enemy, because Aspia, an Usnian Empire colony, was in war with Nordval, other country in Black Skylands universe. So yeah, Eva is a complex character, and it's always interesting to write such characters.
And when you arrived and you started rewriting, how long did it take for you to find her voice?
Oh, it took a lot of time, really, because that was one of the problems with the first iterations of the script. She didn't have a voice, and I had to make some new variants of this character, some background, some research, to find what her character should be. So it took a lot of time.
It's not an easy process, is it? By any stretch
No.
of the imagination. And if out there you've ever tried to write stories, you've ever tried to create characters, creating a character is easy. Making them believable and interesting isn't. That's the tricky bit, right?
Yeah, and make them not only believable but true to their character till the end.
Yep. So that their actions make sense, and
Yeah.
the narrative follows what you would expect from what you know of the character. It's so important in making the world feel more real, right?
So Eva's goal is to prove herself and protect her home, her family, and to find out who is she in this world. So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to write and to watch.
And honestly, something that's very easy to relate to, right? Most of us, even if we think we have found our place in the world, we've all been through trying to find our place in the world. It's one of the reasons so many stories follow that sort of thing, right? Because it is something that basically every human on the planet can relate to. So, the next question is much more now aimed at you, Constantine, going back to you. And so the question I have for you here is, are there any plans to add something more, like we've had a question about, is there a plan to add a more difficult setting? Something for more veteran players? I don't believe there is, but I thought we should ask.
Why not? If players want it to be added, we can add it. But the current highest difficulty is not so easy, so if you complete the game on the hardest difficulty and you want more, just text us. We'll think about it.
So there you go.
But the highest difficulty is really difficult.
Oh,
I mean, it's not impossible, but
yeah.
you are kidding. I am really sorry, everybody. I am having a massive technical difficulty where my headset has just decided to switch itself off entirely, and I can no longer hear anyone. 1 second.
hey guys, just ask
Oh,
me,
my headset
ask
has just
questions.
stopped working entirely. This is a major technical difficulty. Give me 2 minutes. I have a solution, but I will have to go and grab something. So, Julia, you can still hear me, and I believe the audience can still hear you absolutely fine, so there's no problem there. So while I quickly run away and try and fix this particular problem, the question for you and Constantine that I will go over to is... I have one here. Oh, yes. Are there any plans for DLC? Has been asked. That's the next question that we have for you. So, I'll leave you guys to try and sort that while I try and fix this.
I don't know. So, do you hear me, chat? Please write it. Okay, I will answer if you don't hear me. So, there will be DLC if the game release will show that we need to do it, because once more it's not easy to do. It's time, so yeah, we need to understand if we need to do DLC for Black Skylands or we need to go.
I am back, and I am so sorry about this. This still isn't working.
Yeah,
I do apologise. There is literally nothing I can do right now. I do not know why my headset has just switched itself off. So, with that, everybody, I unfortunately do believe we're going to have to go onto a Be Right Back screen while I go away and desperately try and fix this. We will be back very, very shortly. I do apologise.
You look like a marine officer with this hat.
Hello, everybody again. We're back. I am awfully sorry about that. Obviously, massive technical difficulties where a headset just decided to switch itself off. So that was super useful. We are now back, and yes, again, I do apologise about that.
Hi,
hello.
Messenger Mod here. It is official. Black Skylands is now out on all platforms. Hooray! Yes, go play.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. The game is out. So you can now go to your various platforms where you want to play the game and grab yourself the new version of Black Skylands. So first thing I want to say at this point, congratulations, Constantine and Julia, because it is out, it is done. So yes, very genuinely, congratulations, both of you, and also to everyone else over at Hungry Couch. So there you go. It's happened.
Thank you guys.
One more message from the Messenger Mod here.
Yeah.
Don't forget to switch your screen from stream starting soon to another one.
That
Messenger Mod is out.
would be really useful. Thank you. Sorry everybody, with all the stress of that headset dying, I completely failed to do that. But there you go, Black Skylands version 1 is out now, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to hang around for a few more minutes, and we're going to ask a couple more questions to Constantine and Julia, and we're just going to make sure that nothing majorly bad is going on all of you guys' sides. And as long as it isn't, then we will be bringing the stream to a close fairly shortly. And we will let you guys go and do what you really want to do, which, let's be honest, is go and play the game. So I'm going to finish with a question to you both, and we'll start with you, Constantine, and then we'll go to Julia. So, Constantine, now that the game is out, what moment from the development process, from right back from the very start to all the way to now, what moment is the moment that will live with you forever? What's that moment that you'll never forget?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's not an easy one either, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of moments because there've been a long time. So it was started at April of 2018. So yeah, I think the first moment and one of the most memorable is when I was doing Black Skylands on GameMaker, and one day Tiny Build producer texted me in social media, and I remember this moment. I was on the meeting. I was working at one company, and I was on the meeting, and I saw this message on my phone, and I'm like, just stand a little and go. So I was a little bit shocked, and I remember there was a project manager that sat nearby me, and I'm like, you don't believe me, just read it. And he's like, chill, let's finish this meeting and then we will talk. So yeah, that was one of the biggest memorable moments in Black Skylands story. But there was a lot of other moments. So yeah, I can talk about this a long time. So let's consider this question to be answered.
There you go. And I do want to say, if everyone has been enjoying this and you're enjoying seeing Q&As like this and that sort of thing, do let us know. We're trying out a lot of new stuff with live content and that sort of thing at the minute. And we think this is things you guys will enjoy. So do let us know on Discord or in the various chats, all of that sort of thing. And we'll do more of them. Because there's a lot of interesting things that people who make games have to say. So, Julia, over to you. What moment for you is going to live with you forever? What's the thing that's going to stand out?
Oh, there's a lot of moments that I loved in this development, and I love this game. I love my team. So So there are really a lot of good moments. But when I firstly came to Hungry Couch, I found out there that there were no documentation, and the documentation that was there was mixed up and messed up, and I had to make everything from the scratch.
Yep.
That was a challenge, but it was a good challenge because everyone was so supportive, and Kostya gave me carte blanche with, well, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was great.
Also, to everyone in the audience, Julia and Constantine were slightly concerned that their English wouldn't work well enough for the stream. Can I just point out that Julia just used the term carte blanche completely perfectly whilst worrying her English is... I've made my point. But very genuinely, at this moment, everybody, again, I want to say thank you to Julia and Constantine. First of all, for coming on the stream. I know how nerve-wracking this can be, so I really do appreciate you guys coming on and sharing all these lovely little anecdotes with everybody. The other thing I want to do is thank all of you guys that are watching, all the guys and girls watching out there. We really appreciate everybody coming along and getting excited about this. But for now, we're going to call it a day, because again, we're fully aware you guys want to go and play the game. So we're not going to take any more of your time unnecessarily. Thank you very, very much for watching, everybody. It has been an utter pleasure. We hope that you've enjoyed this, and enjoy Black Skylands. Go and get it, go and download it, go and play it. Constantine and Julia, say goodbye.
Yeah, can I say a little bit more?
Oh,
So
please,
I want
yeah,
to
go.
say thank you to all our team, because it wasn't like just me and Julia. We are on stream, yes, but I know whole studio now watching this stream. So thank you guys, everyone. It is like our big child. So thank you, and I hope players will enjoy Black Skylands. Don't just text us in Discord if you find something like bugs or something strange. So yeah, and thank you for stream, and thank you for watching us.
And thank you for the support with the early access from the audience. It was great.
So there you go. And thank you to both of you again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been DJ. I've been your host. This has been Julia and Constantine. We have launched Black Skylands. We really, really hope you enjoy it. Go play, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.